So welcome to the craft hour. We are here hanging out, creating together in person online. And so for today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a simple watercolor tutorial, landscape tutorial. So here is an example that you can see. So the biggest thing when you are starting out with landscapes is figuring out your horizon line. So I'm going to show you how to do this super simple, and then you can build up and build onto your painting as you go. So this one has two things. It has this horizon line, and it has one element that helps identify what the landscape is. So this one has the moon, and then it's reflected here. So you can do this with any photo you have. You simply look at the photo and find this horizon line and see the top and the bottom. So that's how simply you want to break down your photo. So don't worry about all the little elements and the colors and the shapes and things. Just look for that horizon line and the top and bottom blocks of color. So that's what we are going to work on today. So I am going to do two for you. So I've got one that I've already started because, watercolor takes a long time to dry. And so this one is the Blue Ridge Mountains at sunset. So you can see I found my horizon line. It was just the top of the mountains. And I just, it's just kind of a wavy line up there. And then, we've got that kind of orangey pink fading into the sky, and then the Blue Ridge Mountains are here. And then I'm going to add my elements are going to be the trees down here. That's going to kind of denote what's happening on the page. So we'll get to that one next. But for the one I'm going to paint right now, I'm going to do a desert scene. So I have a desert image that I can't show you because, I'm recording, but the top, it's literally when I looked at the photo, it's kind of a wavy line. It's pretty straight, but the sand kind of has a little bit of dunes in it. And again, it's just blue up top and this yellow on the bottom. And then I'm going to go in and add the cactus scene in. So to get started, you can draw your horizon line. So grab a photo and choose the line and your two colors, your top and bottom colors. We're going for as simple as possible. So I'm going to start at the top. And I'm using the Prima watercolor set. This one is confetti, and isn't it in such a cute little tin? So they're very nice and simple, and you can get these Prima tins in like a billion colors. They're super nice. And so I'm just going to kind of draw that line. And in my photo, there is more sky than sand. So I'm just going to kind of draw not quite a straight line. And then I'm just simply going to paint. I'm just going to pull that paint back and add water and add color as I need to. And so like I said, you can do this with any photo of any landscape.
I'm trying to decide what color to use.
And the nice thing about these is like the sky is, very multifaceted. So your watercolors kind of are going to give it that natural look on its own. And so you don't have to do a lot of technique in here. And so I'm just trying to make sure that there's not like a super distinct line here. That's like extra blue right there. And so I'm just painting over it again with a little more water. I'm moving that around, and it's going to help it fade more.
So you're doing your sky first. I'm doing the the ground. I guess I'm doing it different.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly what I started, but now I'm going back in and do the sky, and I know I'll have a line, but that's okay.
No, it's okay. Just add some more water and it will disappear. Hey, Misty. So glad you joined us.
Hi. Sorry, I had a errand mishap.
Oh, that's understandable. All right, and then I'm just going to start at the other end so that I can blend them together without them blending.
Okay, awesome picture.
So you can kind of think of these as like your underlayer of your painting, and you can keep adding on top of these as they dry and making your painting more complicated and detailed as you go. But just for starting out, I like to have these very simple paintings that just kind of help me learn the basics of landscapes. It makes you much more observant about the details that are actually important and the things that you can get caught up on that don't really make a big difference. Okay, so that while this one dries, I am going to pop over into my mountainscape and add in some details. I'm just using a Micron PN. Those are my favorite of the Microns. They just have this nice tip that's great for drawing. And you could use paint. I used acrylic paint in that first one on top of the watercolors. Once they're dry, you can use Posca pens or more watercolor, whatever it is. But for this, I just want it to be really simplistic. And I'm just going to start drawing in some really just kind of sketchy trees. And again, I'm just going to let it kind of tell its own story and not force it into, you know, this is exactly what a tree looks like. Because then when I try and do things exactly realistic, that's when I find that they look more elementary and not as artistic and abstract the way I like. What scenes are you guys doing?
I'm doing a lake scene
Oh, nice.
with trees and some blue and teal colored water.
Ooh.
At least that's the idea.
I'm trying the desert with a different sky.
I'm doing water too.
Water is my favorite. right, so this is really it. Like I said, I just focus on that horizon line, my 2 colors, and then I just work on these one small detail, one small item that really signals kind of what the scene is and is the most important and helps tell that story. And like I said, you can go in, you can keep adding details, you can go, as detailed or as abstract as you want, but just this is the best place to start when you start with landscapes. So thanks so much for joining us. So if you are watching the recording back at a later time, we would love to have you join us for the craft hour. You can sign up for that on my website at lauren-likes.com. So thank you so much.